So this is so ridiculous it bears repeating. Landlords are still being forced to provide accommodations to provide people without getting paid. No cash flow, no income, but pay your bills, the banks say, and the liberals, and without any legal avenues to evict horrible tenants. We've seen some horrible stories coming out about renters who are taking advantage of this terrible public policy decision. So rather than demonize the landlords, who have also faced amazing amounts of uncertainty because of this pandemic, I wanted to give you, Mr. Lee, I wanted you to have some testimony, and all other landlords across this country, my sincere appreciation for all you have done for the communities where you hold properties. Well, I might remind everybody, while still paying the debt that you owe to your lenders. So with the rest of my time, I want to give Mr. Lee the opportunity to talk about any stories he has seen over the past year of landlords that have been taken advantage or hurt by a result of terrible public policy by the Democratic Party from elected officials, whether it be the inability to collect rents or the inability to evict horrible tenants. But before you get started, I do want to ask you this question. Landlords have bills too, and without their cash flow, they can't pay their bills. And why we attack landlords is beyond me. So, Mr. Lee, would you tell us a few stories what you've received as being a landlord that may not possibly, or some of the people you represent, collect rent?
I so appreciate this opportunity. Thank you, Representative. I recently talked to Dr. Kanisha Gilbert, who was the victim of violence. She's a small property owner, an immigrant herself. She's a doctor, an OGBYN, and she cares for us New Yorkers. She's an essential worker. She had a tenant who ran an illegal puppy mill, caused such damage to her apartment that she feared for the safety of her son. There was urine and feces dripping down the walls of her apartment, which is below this apartment. She called every elected official that she could. She tried every avenue available to her. Because of the eviction moratorium, because the courts are closed, and even when they're open, they're limited, she had no other avenue but to go to social media and to try to get the media on her side. And so with the help of only one out of our 50-something council members, she was able to make contact with the ASPCA, with the NYPD, who already had been to her house several times. And they told her, this is a housing issue. This isn't an NYPD issue. And she was left exasperated and tired, still going to work, still caring for us New Yorkers. Finally, the ASPCA took the dogs away. The police did come, arrest the tenant, only to find out that he was released within hours. Dr. Gilbert comes home from work. They were waiting for her on her doorstep. She and her husband were beaten on their property with their 2 children watching from the window. The system has failed her. This is a story that is repeated with our owners over and over again. We must recognize that the eviction moratorium has hurt people. It has hurt some of our vulnerable property owners who are Americans and families just like everyone else. I talked with Dr. Gilbert. She is going public because she feels that there are many people like her who are suffering from tenants who are taking advantage of this eviction moratorium. We can't keep kicking the can down the road without allowing some of our vouchers to finally
gentleman's time has expired.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Welcome to the Biden administration. Thank you.